click that like and subscribe button and go sign up on superchargedstocks.com, and let's keep you notified. Good morning, everyone. It's Andrew O'Donnell with Supercharged Stocks. I'm here with Morgan Lekstrom, who's the president of Lakewood Resources. Lots of big news, powerful IPO that ran out the door. Listen, you've got a couple news releases we want to talk about. Let me know what's going on, and then we're going to recap all about Lakewood.
Perfect. Thanks for having me, pal. This is awesome. First person interview. I love it. Let's hit the news.
Yeah.
You know, we just did a transaction on 2 assets in Nevada. This is completely transformative for us. It hits our triple-pronged approach of near-term production potential, large exploration payoff, but also meaningful acquisitions. And these acquisitions that we did in Nevada really pull together our pure silver play asset. We have the Eliza transaction in the historic Hamilton district. I mean, this mine, this area has had grades of 25,000 grams a ton come out of it. It's insane. Yeah. I mean, I'm a mine builder. We've talked about this before, and I look at this and I get super excited because you don't get those grades. There was 40 million ounces pulled from this area in the 1800s. And it was pulled from a 1 mile long by half a mile wide area and not at depth. Wow. So if that tells you anything, we picked this up from an amazing group, an amazing geologist. I won't go into that too far, but it really is a transaction that we're super excited about. The next one is Silverton. And I just remind everyone, these are in Nevada. So we have an asset in Idaho, which is in the Silver Valley. And now we're in the Silver State in Nevada. So the other one is up near Ely, and it is called Silverton. Yeah. It was an existing mine, 933 grams a ton silver coming out of it.
Yeah.
Prolific, right? These mines have run for a long time. They were run in the 1860 to 1870-ish. No modern day exploration. Claims held by the same person for like 60 years.
Wow.
Man passed away, unfortunately. People didn't renew the claims. We ended up picking them up. We've had our geologists on the ground, and I can tell you, like, it's impressive.
That's what I want to kind of touch on too, is that people think sometimes they go, well, how can you have a property that was like a giant producer and then nothing happens? And this is what happens. Sometimes someone gets it, holds it forever, and they just go out of cycle, they get old, something happens, and it's tied up. And it has, I mean, there's been a few small technological changes in the last 60 years for finding ore.
Yeah, a few, a lot.
So you're getting these new packages that have had no modern day work, and even in the last 15 years, it's been a dramatic increase. Is that you've got a lot of historical data that to go off of, and then you get to like refurbish it, bring it back up, and look to see, like you're saying, at depth, what is going on here, what's feeding this thing.
Yeah, and I mean that's the exciting part about this, right? I know I talk about Silver Strand in Idaho. I mean, that's an existing mine. It fits our portfolio perfectly. Existing production areas, high chance of large ore body, large exploration payoff. And then with my background, how are we going to build it?
Yes.
You know, so that really puts us together as a company. We're not just an exploration company. We're not just a capital markets driven company. We have capital markets people. We have an amazing exploration team between Lawrence Ralston, Phil Mulholland, our geo, Ron Burke, our new advisor, who is a legend in the industry, and myself being the mine building type. So I mean, we are that trifecta on the front end, but we're also going on that triple pronged approach on our corporate directive. Yes,
and I like that too. Is that when you see pulling you in, who's got that deep mining engineering, and you see the depth that you're going to be looking at in Idaho, and that trend. I mean, the modeling. You know, it's. I love that the work you've done with the modeling to show people, because even someone who's a generalist looks and goes, I get it. And then you don't have to be a geo. You don't have to be, you go, okay, I see this trend. I see what they're going for. This makes sense.
Yeah.
And that goes a long way for people, because otherwise you see sometimes where it's like a million intersecting lines and people are looking, going, what's that?
And I'll preface that comment about being a mining. I'm not a mine engineer. My background's electrical.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
But I am a generalist.
Yes.
And the reason I went to that generalist idea was because I'm like, how do I bring all these groups together? And how do we get to a point where we're like, I can build mines, and how do we, understand the exploration side. And that's why when generalists throughout my career, it's 14 years in mining, right?
Yes.
I spent time all over the world, big mines, small mines, and restarted mines. And coming to a project like this, seeing it, we've only been on the stock exchange on the CSE for 2.5 months.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Amazing chart since, right?
Yes.
Super tightly held.
Yeah.
37 with this transaction, 37.6 million shares out.
Yeah.
Extremely tightly held group. Really good group of investors behind us, and it gives us a lot of room to grow.
Yes, there's a ton of room for expansion there.
Ton of room for expansion, but bringing in these meaningful assets. We now have like really, really solid past producing areas. 2 of the best jurisdictions on the planet to work in. And I mean, in the Western US, you don't get better.
No, these are the places that you want to be. And you've got like some incredible sample sizes that came out for the work in Idaho. We're going to be expecting a lot of news coming out of there. But at the same time now, is it going to be, what's the approach in these 2 new projects? Is it just kind of, you're starting the ball rolling, doing some geophysical, or you're going to do some, what's the approach here?
So everyone wonders, the question I get asked is, how do you concentrate on all 3?
Yeah.
And the truth is, I'm hiring someone to help.
Perfect. Yeah.
I'm going to hire a geologist that specifically concentrates on the 2 Nevada assets between Eliza and Silverton.
Yes. All right.
We're going to come up with a very complex geo program so that we can plop a drill on there as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Cool thing to remember about Nevada, it's high altitude, so it does get a bit of snow. But if we have targets before winter, the winter there, we can drill.
Yes.
Unlike, a lot of times in Idaho or Montana and these areas that get just covered in snow, costs go through the roof. Well, now we have that luxury of drilling these properties out concurrently with what we're doing in Idaho.
That's great.
I mean, to touch on what you talked about in Idaho, we have had unbelievable results.
Yes.
2,744 grams a ton, a chip sample right from the underground.
Yeah.
We are now seeing surface mineralization all the way across, which means that we thought, initially, we got this 5.5 kilometer land package that no one had done before. And we go, okay, we think the ore body goes this way. Now we've got surface sample, we're seeing outcrops, and we're actually seeing it go that way. We're getting mineralization, which means where there's outcrops and pop-ups of ore body all over. We're getting grades that are all the way up to 12 grams a ton gold.
Wow.
They build mines on less than 1 gram a ton gold.
Yeah.
So we're kind of like, whoa, gold, silver, hey, cool.
Yeah.
That's fun. And then we're seeing like 255 grams a ton of silver on surface.
Yeah.
So we're really excited for for our Idaho asset, Silver Strand, and progressing that into drilling the end of summer. And that's still progressing. Yeah.
So this is great. And you're going to have the news flow that's coming out of Idaho. And then even assuming a torrential mountain of snow, there's going to be still news flow out. And that's a big factor for people because it's not a seasonal play. You're saying like a lot of the ones up in northern BC, it's like rush for 3 months, a lot of work. And then people go, oh, maybe I can swap into something else over the.
You know what?
You don't have to.
Yeah, and I will never knock another miner. I think there's some great plays in northern BC.
Yeah.
But I also just it just gives us that versatility that not a lot of people have.
Yes.
We're no longer a single asset, near-term production asset company. Now we're a triple asset company. So it goes with that triple-pronged approach.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Like it really pulls it together. So between our team, our assets, and a great group of investors and capital markets people and exploration people behind us, like we really do have that shot of making the shareholders extreme high value.
Yes. And also, like you're saying, in the capital structure, you've got so much room to grow. You're not talking about 100 million, 150 million shares out. So 36 million?
Yeah, 37
million shares out.
Yep.
And there's lots of transactions you can do with good news that it will help this just launch.
Exactly. And we just raised that $3.5 million on the back of the Silver Strand transaction. So we're cashed up to execute on all these plans. So that, that's something when we talk about it and we look at what I'm doing and then how I'm planning in the background, I'm going, I don't have the cash to do this.
Yeah.
Versus scary. No, we have it. We have the cash, we have the assets, and we're aggressively going at it in a meaningful way. I'm not messing around.
I love it. That's great. Well, like you said, if you're looking for, this isn't just a small refurbishment kind of story. This is expanding significantly. Yeah. And these 2 additions are really wonderful. And also, I'm glad you touched on that you're going to have someone else have that under their wings as well, because they're not small projects. They're big projects. They're developing to a big size. And that's what you want to see. I mean, that's what draws eyes too. And it is silver, which is getting a lot of attention. I know silver market's pulled back, but people are starting to recognize that silver is like critical for any industrial use, especially like solar panels and things like this, where we're seeing this drive for the clean energy. So this is an exciting developing story that's going to have lots of news. So we love it that you're here and telling us about it, and it's also in person, so it's great.
Yeah, no, it's great.
And what should we be looking forward? What's in the next like couple weeks, couple months? What should we be looking forward so that people are got their eyes peeled?
Yeah, I just want to touch quickly on what you said about the applications of silver, and it's something that I'm really passionate about as a president of a mining company and a potential producer. Is that I don't want to tell investors not to invest in crypto, but invest in us. Invest in both.
Yes.
And I say invest in both because that industry relies on silver paste, silver solder to create circuit boards, to create solar panels, to create video cards. Yeah. Like they're not detached in any way. They're so attached, and there's never been focused on that. I really want to focus on that.
I love that you touched on that angle, because I mean, I'll say to people as well, listen, you can't Bitcoin mine unless you literally mine. And the sooner we can get people to realize that, I mean, you need the helium to cool down the processing for any 5G or cloud storage. You need to have the silver on the boards, on the motherboards. Like everything. You need the graphite, all that stuff. So if you want this new future, they are married together. And also there is just that sense now that even whenever teenagers and younger men are going, oh, what about this fiat currency thing? I'd rather own some commodity and a bit of crypto. That's the way this world is shifting. So diversify a little bit. And then if you want a real, a delta on this thing, look at a junior that's going to be finding and feeding that stock. And also feeding a stock in North America. That's going to matter too in the future. Where are you getting your commodities from?
Yeah, I mean, with what's going on in the world, I've worked in Africa, I've worked in Indonesia, I've worked in Mongolia, I've been all over the world. Yeah. And I'm super happy to be in Western US, that our company's based in Western US. But to follow up on what you said, when you're looking at an investment, you look at the team, but you look on, are they executing on what they said they're doing? And I mean, we've been 2 months and we just pulled in two, probably the most exciting projects I've ever been able to look at. And in super prolific, I mean, Hamilton's history, you'll see the video on it, and it is incredibly rich history. And we believe there's a lot there. Yeah.
Well, you said, is management hitting the criteria that they said they're going to do? And you've gotten results with the samples. You've come out of the gates charging, being reflected in a positive stock price. So it's like, listen, guys, that's what you want to look at. Is management meeting commitments? Are they doing it in a timely fashion and efficiently? And they're giving you 3 shots now, major prolific areas. This is, listen, I can't tell anyone to go buy or not buy something, but this is definitely an exciting developing story that's happening.
Oh, I like it. And what to look forward to from us. We're still planning our drilling program at Silver Strand. So that's planned for the end of summer right now. I'm working a lot of plans in the background on refining that and making sure we're hitting in the exact spots we need to. We want to blow this to depth. I mean, with the mines in the area that go down 2,000 meters, we're only down 90, and it was high grade coming out of there. We've got an established land package now. We've got mineralization on surface. I mean, we are hitting all the right notes. We're hitting all the right notes for success out of Silver Strand, and we're going to start hitting all the right notes for success out of Eliza and Silverton.
Well, you heard it from Morgan. So thank you so much, Morgan. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. It's good
all
to
the
do
best.
that.
Yeah, good stuff. All right. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll chat to you again soon.